How you doing? How you been? What's going on? What's good? How you getting it in? Body getting it funny. What's going on, people? What's going on, people? Oh, we got 2 for 1, 2 for 2 on Friday. Anyway, that being said, what's going on, people? I want to talk to you about something. I don't know if you know about this, but someone had hit me up and they had told me a little bit about this man, but I didn't really want to do anything in reference to him because I was very much familiar with him, and his name is Ken Adkins. He's 56 years old. He's a pastor. Okay? He's from Georgia. Now, if you don't remember him, I'm going to give you a little rough idea because I talked to you about him before and stuff. You know, he's the one who protested about the transgenders inside the bathroom. Remember he went to this extreme right here? Okay? You know, with the blonde wig and stuff, he was basically saying, you know, that he's a woman and stuff like that, you know, trying to be funny and stuff. That was his way of making a mockery of, you know, being trans and stuff. So as you see, the latest thing, what he's done is, he posted something in reference to the, you know, the 49 people that was killed and the 53 people that were injured from the Post nightclub. He put this up on his he posted this up here. Okay, you see what he said? He said, I don't see none of his victims. They got what they deserve. You know, he had posted that. And the thing about it is that, you know, as of now, he's in the spotlight once again. As of 9 o'clock Friday morning, he turned himself in for aggravated child molestation charges. You know, and the thing is, you know, the victim was, okay, this is the thing. Now this is, was in a congregation in Atlanta, Jacksonville, and Brunswick, Georgia. Now the thing is, the victim was a part of the church ministry and had been a mentor by, you know, her and her husband, you know, because basically the wife is saying that due to the fact that, you know, he's going to be on leave. Better yet, I'll let her tell you. But before I go there, let me just give you an idea. So this just came in as far as the news and stuff.
One controversial local pastor is in jail facing 2 counts of child molestation.
Ken Adkins turned himself in to the Glynn County Jail just a few hours ago. We have team coverage for you now this noon. Action News Jack's Caitlin Channa is on the way to Glynn County. She joins us on the phone with the latest.
We are on our way to Glynn County to learn more about these child molestation charges against the prominent Georgia pastor. Ken Adkins is well-known for being very outspoken. He's also known to many as a political activist. Today, Adkins was arrested on 1 count of aggravated child molestation and 1 count of child molestation. At 9 this morning, Adkins turned himself into the Glynn County Jail. He's being held without bond. More than a week ago, Brunswick Judicial Circuit District Attorney Jackie Johnson requested Georgia Bureau of Investigation to assist the police department in learning if these accusations had any truth. In the next hour, I will be speaking with Adkins' wife, Stormy Adkins, about his arrest and the investigation. At 5 on Action News Jax, I'll bring you what Adkins' wife has to say about her husband being arrested on 2 counts of child molestation.
Has been a fixture here in local politics for years, often making polarizing statements about race, sexual identity, and more. Action News Jax Paige Kelton is live here in the newsroom now. And Paige, we have been here in the city for a long time at this point. Adkins is no stranger to controversy. Yeah, Dawn, to say Ken Adkins has been a controversial local figure would be putting it mildly. Adkins, who has always been known for his caustic remarks, became a lightning rod during the recent human rights ordinance debate when he used pictures of HRO supporter Councilman Tommy Hazouri and created graphic images that he posted all over social media. His actions were widely condemned. We pressed Adkins to explain, and here was his reaction.
Looking at the images, some have described them as pornographic, as disrespectful. Your response to that?
Well, my response is very simple. I think as a pastor, homosexuality, I think that's vulgar, and I think that's pornographic, and just the whole thought of it.
I spoke to Councilman Tommy Hazouri about 15 minutes ago to get his reaction to the charges. Hazouri told me he's never surprised when it comes to Ken Adkins. Again, Adkins arrested today on child molestation charges. We are heading to Brunswick. We'll have more local reaction on this arrest tonight at 5.
Now, as you see, even the news reporter saying that he's not an unknown character as far as his personalities and stuff and all the negative things he says. You know, and to sit up there and say that they got what they deserve as far as the victims of post-nightclub and stuff. You know, to even part your lips and call yourself a pastor, but I'm not going to go there. I've watched this before, and I know another pastor who does something similar to this about 4 black boys, and you know, but anyway, so, you know, basically what they were saying that the victim was, the alleged victim was placed at a church in the Brunswick as well as the pastor. Okay, this is what the place where the alleged victim said it took place. He said the abuse took place in the church of Brunswick as well as the pastor's car. His attorney said investigators told that the abuse took place in 2010. And the wife said she feels that the charges will be cleared. And she expressed concern about, you know, about the child and stuff. But I'm going to let you hear it for yourself. The wife with the scripted sheet that she's going to read from. And if you notice, she's going to sum her words because she's reading something for what she's going to be reading because the attorney is telling her to read it, allegedly. But I'm just watching it. If you watch it, we know it seemed to be very scripted and stuff, you know, saying the proper things and stuff. But here it is. You can see it yourself.
Is Charlotte Stormy Atkins. I am the wife of Bishop Kenneth Atkins, an acting pastor of the Greater Church, 6122 Alabama Avenue in Brunswick. I am here today on behalf of my husband and our church to express my support for my husband, Kenneth Adkins. We are disappointed with what appears to be a rush to judgment by law enforcement authorities in this case. We are confident that my husband, Kenneth Adkins, will be found innocent of all charges. And at that time, we expect the district attorney and Georgia Bureau of Investigation will be as vocal in publicly clearing his good name at the time as they have been besmirching his name around town and in the media over the past 24 hours. While I am confident of my husband's innocence, that the charges made against him are false, and that he will ultimately be cleared of any wrongdoing. I share my husband's concern for the alleged victim. We are praying for him. The young man has been a part of our teen ministry. We have taken care of him and taken him in as our church family has with a lot of love. Ken and I have done a lot to help mentor that young man. I am deeply troubled by the things that are happening with that young man. And to be sure, he is in our thoughts and our prayers, even now. Bishop Atkins, my husband, has asked to be placed on unpaid leave from the Greater Church until these matters are resolved. I will be acting as interim pastor Accordingly, we will have our services as usual, our weekly services, and our service will be this Thursday at 7 p.m. And our church is always open and welcome for anyone who would like to attend. Thank you.
Okay, you see that. You know, the thing she was saying is that that they had mentored, you know, they was mentored by her and her husband, and she said that she's going to take the, you know, be the active pastor as far as he's going to, you know, leave. So she's to mentor this person. So when you mentor this person, did y'all...
This is Miss Jane Pittman. Now, Miss Jane, I'm Miss Jane, I'm Miss Jane. And listen, and I am the member, I am on the school board, that's right, that's like the washing board and the ironing board of the Glenn County school system. That's right, I want to tell y'all something, now listen here. Now, I'm sick and tired of that old preacher, the overseer, talking about me and my wig. Because I want y'all to know it. Listen, this is my wig, and ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Now listen here. Now my job, listen to me. I know I'm ignorant and uneducated, but listen, it costs me something to be ignorant and this uneducated. Do you think that, how else do you think I got where I am?
Okay, Jane Pittman, or better yet,
how you doing? Listen, my name is Miss Jane Pittman, Miss Jane
okay,
Pittman.
Jane Pittman. You know, the thing about it is that you hate gays and stuff like that, but yet and still, here it is once again, you're inside of a wig, or better yet, you got a church hat on, like this.
Oh, Lord, Miss Jane, looking good. I'm getting ready to go to church.
Of course, you're Jane Pittman. You know, this is the thing. People have the right to believe whatever they want to believe as far as, you know, as far as their life and stuff. And I'm a firm believer of live and let live. But I always feel as though when you keep knocking on the door of hate, somebody's going to answer it. However, the wife was like, well, don't be so quick to judge.
Investigation will be as vocal in publicly clearing his good name at the time as they have been besmirching his name around town and in the media, around town and in the media, around town and in the media, around town and in the media.
Like that, you know, how the media is taking place as far as that. Be so quick to judge. Isn't that amazing? Be so quick to judge. You're defending a person who just said that 49 people have been murdered inside of a nightclub, got what they deserve, because that's your husband. But you want us to have an open heart for your husband. But you want us to look past the fact of what he said about those victims. You know, those victims whose parents and family that are waking up now and they're looking at their kids' shoes, or they're looking at their passing their kids' room, or they're passing their mother's room, or they're going outside where their best friend used to play, or they're going into the store their best friend used to meet up at. But you want us to have compassion for your husband. But you don't want to share that same compassion when it comes down to those victims. 49 people have been murdered, and for your husband to take out the time, a pastor of a church, to say they got what they deserve. Well, let's just pray to God that, I'm going to say it anyway, I'm just going to pray to God that from their deaths, that you sent it, and I'm praying to God that the other side of the world heard what he said, the dead victims, and they decided to open up the whole of life that could breathe the life of what's been done in the dark on the molestation allegedly person. So we're going to see how this plays out and stuff. And like I said before, we're going to see. And like all the dirt he's done and all the things that Pastor has said and stuff, and you know, clearly he's not in the business of saving souls, but we're going to see.
we're going to say, and do I feel sorry for him? Absolutely not. And I just hope it goes in my favor, but I'm not going to say no more than that because I'm just going to let it go that way. You know, and my whole thing is, like I said before, for the victims of Paul's, my heart goes out to you because I understand it's devastating. And for this pastor, I'm just going to watch what happens. And if it goes the way I want, trust me, there will be an update. But the victim, stay strong. Don't let no one stop you from getting your truth out. God has a way of working in mysterious ways, and sometimes things that are done in the dark shall come to the light. Anyway, that being said, I would love to hear how you feel about this. I would love to hear you feel about this. And I want to say I love you, and thank you for watching.